What is up and what's happening, all you wonderful Blue Jays fans? I am your host, Craig Borden, right here with you on Jays Latest. We're going to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays today, so make sure you hit those like, share, subscribe buttons so we can have all the kind of fun we can have every day. So, on that note, let's talk baseball because the fun thing that happens this time of year is everybody gets to move around from place to place. And today was no exception as the New York Mets get one of their guys that they've been looking at and as they turn around and sign Devin Williams. Yes, that same Devin Williams that was playing for the New York Yankees and traded from the Milwaukee Brewers before the beginning of last season. Obviously, first season for Devin Williams didn't go as planned for the New York or for the New York Yankees, anyways. But the Mets are hoping that he's going to have some better success on the Queens side of New York and get them where they need to get to, because at the end of the day, the Yankees did not get that same piece out of him. He did do a lot better near the end of the season, but to that point, it is obviously now in the Mets court. And the 3-year deal is a $51 million deal for Mr. Devin Williams. And it's kind of incentive laden a little bit. It also has a signing bonus, all sorts of crazy to it, but that's just the business side of it. So, but the big thing is that, like I said, after a slightly rough season, it was a little crazy. But to that point, he has been one of the best closers in baseball prior to last season. So there is something very, very moving in that piece to that. So very close to like what you were getting from Josh Hader and all these other guys. And then, like we mentioned, as traded for Nasty Nestor and some others to the Milwaukee Brewers to get him to the Yankees and in pinstripes last season. But that is now the going rate, apparently, for a closer, is the other catch to that whole thing. As the one crazy piece that's after this is the Mets are saying they're still in fully on bringing Edwin Diaz back. So they intend to bring back their all-star closer, and Diaz has been nothing short of that. So the projected average annual amount for Devin Williams was basically what he asked for. But you look at what Mr. Edwin Diaz would demand. You're talking about stacking a little extra back on top of that, because he's expected to get 18.3 according to our friends at Spot Track. And that is still a pretty good jump over an average, 15 something mil dollars for the wonderful services of Mr. Devin Williams. So there you go. It's like that. It's done. It's over with for the Blue Jays not being able to get yet another closer. So, Blue Jays fans, you freaking out yet? It'd be really nice to see them be able to make some kind of splash. There are two good closers still available on the market outside of, like we were just talking about with Edwin Diaz. Robert Suarez is one that we have been hearing nothing on up to this point, especially in Blue Jays fandom. He's a little on the older side. He's 34, but he has gas. Another gentleman, Jason Foley, who would be incredibly cheap, but yeah, whatever. To that point. But then we get down to the gentleman that I'm wondering if this was the plan all along, and that was to bring division rival Pete Fairbanks from the Tampa Bay Rays to north of the border. And Pete Fairbanks has a lot of the right tools that the Blue Jays would like. And the big thing is he is 32 going into this season. So he's on the right side for a bullpen closer. And he just pitched the most innings in his major league career this past season with the Tampa Bay Rays. 60 innings with a 2.8 ERA, and just looked incredible while doing it. Picks up 27 saves in that time frame. Kind of surprised that Baseball Reference doesn't have the blown save category for some reason, blatantly obvious on this wonderful sheet here. But at the end of the day, he's been a very good closer. He's been, 20 some odd saves the last 3 years and just been an incredible piece for the Tampa Bay Rays. And we've unfortunately faced the wrong side of that, because he has been very good against the Toronto Blue Jays in locking this stuff down. And he might be the guy the Blue Jays are looking at. Right amount of money, nothing too crazy, does his job well, and would make similar to basically what we paid Jeff Hoffman last year. Somewhere in the $13 million, $14 million ballpark is what the current Spot Track Estimate is for his average annual value. Wow, that was a tongue twister. So on that point, I think that it's not the worst thing in the world losing it on this. Obviously, it would be amazing to spend and get somebody like Edwin Diaz here, but the spend the money thing is on Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette. So focus all your assets, do everything you can to dump all that money in there. And the key word is the Blue Jays are making smart business decisions on these players. So the big thing is maybe they're not really going to get the money to pay Edwin Diaz. Maybe the Rogers media is not seeing that as the smart business decision. Where if you get Kyle Tucker, that sells jerseys, that sells everything. You keep Bo Bichette, that just continues the wonderful, ridiculous clip that it has been selling Bo Bichette merchandise over the years. It's those kind of things that move the needle. In some of those special assets, it's the same idea why they were willing to overpay to get on Soto. You're getting a name, you're getting the brand of that person, is why they were overpaying and supposedly on in flight to get Shohei Ohtani to come north of the border. It's these business decisions that are the next piece of the game that obviously is not things you and I terribly care about, but there's things that drive the team that you and I and everybody get to root for on the field. So that's where the Blue Jays seem to be at, but they are in need and looking for pitching. That is still seems to be the top priority. Blue Jays have still been getting mentioned in the trade rumors and everything, even post the Dylan Cease thing, which, by the way, it was fun watching the media finally catch up to that after the holiday today. There's a lot of great little clips about everybody talking about all the same things we've been talking about right here daily and past week on Jaybird watching, like 30 minutes after the show had, or after the deal had actually been announced. So very intriguing, very interesting, and always fun, the Major League Baseball off season. So on that note, Blue Jays fans, make sure you tune in for episode 500 of the Jaybird Watching podcast this Thursday at a special day, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. We are going to be with the Lunchbox Hero, Travis Snyder, and he might be bringing a friend. So make sure you join us in the live chat and talk all things Toronto Blue Jays with us. And make sure you join us daily right here on Jays Latest, and we will be ready to talk with you. As always, let's go Blue Jays.